One question I wanted to ask you though is so how does a guy show sort of dominance and frame, but without being an arsehole? Because I'm sure you've seen like podcasts and where they say, oh, you know, if she, you know, tell her to get off Instagram, she can't go to the club on a Friday with her friends, you know, if it's a girl's holiday, she's out the door, all that kind of stuff. So where is the line, and how does a guy communicate these things without going too far into the, oh, this guy's just a complete douchebag territory?
Well, it's the same of how you say things, isn't it? It's not so much what you're saying, because it really in life, in everything in life, it's about how you say something. It's how you say. And I think men are obviously very direct sometimes, okay? Yeah. And they're a lot more direct than women. Women are a little bit more like, let's sugarcoat things and beat around the bush a little bit, right? Because we always been told that from a very young age. Be nice, we can't be difficult, we can't be a bitch, right? But men are a little bit more like, no filter, direct. I can really just be like, I don't want this, I don't want that. So it's about how you say it. And for example, like if I was speaking to someone and, you know, we were having a conversation and he turned around and said to me, these are my non-negotiables. These are the things that I would walk away.
Yeah.
Something like that is very powerful and signals to the woman that you are high value, because you have very strong boundaries and you are not scared to walk away.
Yeah. I agree. I think the issue is then actually walking away, or actually having the ability to walk away. And I think where guys will fall down sometimes is that they don't have the abundance, or they don't feel they have the abundance of other options, and that's when it becomes. But
which
then, of course,
is why they work on themselves.
Yeah,
in order to get your, where you can actually say, she's gone, 5 more come through the door. But a lot of men can't do that because they haven't worked on themselves enough.
Yeah, absolutely. Out of interest, what do you think of the Tates? Have you got, what's your general view of the Tate brothers?
So I agree with a lot of what they say, and actually they are the type of men that a lot of women would find desirable. Although they say that they don't like them, a lot of women like to trash them, deep down those are the kind of men that the women are fighting for. Yeah,
that's interesting, because, well, doesn't that speak a little bit to what I was asking you before, which is like on the surface, well, it depends what version of the Tates we're talking about, because a lot of women would see some of the content, they go, oh, these guys are misogynists, they're arseholes, whatever. But if, I suppose, and that was kind of what I was asking you before in a sense, because is it kind of like capping a little bit to say, oh, women just would disregard those guys? Or is there under the surface actually a sense of, yeah, but he is still pretty hot, I would go there, you know? But
so then men like, you know, Andrew Tate and, you know, these kind of people, the women will be with them because they are the desirable men.
Yeah.
Because they are alpha, they are dominant, they're protective, they're providers, and they kind of allow the woman to be in her soft girl energy. Like that's literally what they are promoting when they're talking. And, you know, all this content is all about, they want their woman to sit at home and look pretty. I think there was even a point where I think I was watching one of the videos and I remember Andrew Tate saying, I just want to create like this safe space for my woman to feel happy.
Yeah.
And to like just this free, happy energy about her, so that when I come home, I'm also happy. Yeah. And a lot of men don't like that. They're like, no, she needs to go out and work hard, and no, like I need help and I can't do that. I can't provide that. But that's really truly what women want. They want that man who's like, you know what? Here's money. Go get your nails done. Go get your hair done.
Yeah, for sure. No, because like, I mean, putting, obviously the case is ongoing, putting that to one side, you know, we'll see how that plays out, and the allegations and everything else. But overall, it seems like they were guys who kind of were ticking all the boxes, or really, because, you know, well put together, obviously in shape, obviously with money, intelligent, resourceful. status. Some may, argue about that, but status with literally ticking all the boxes. Now, a story that I always tell because I think it's quite instructive is because I met them a couple of times in work situations, and I went to a cigar lounge with Tristan one time when he was in London, right? And he basically sort of had chatted with the waitress, and he ended up getting her phone number. I mean, nothing dramatic, but he was just had a bit of banter back and forward. He gets her phone number, whatever, right? And I think they could maybe connected, sometime later when he came back or whatever, But the point is, at no point did he say, "Hey, by the way, did you know I'm a multimillionaire?" Or look at my Instagram, or look at my cars, or look at this suit. It was made in Savile Row. He didn't, and that was the whole thing. He didn't have to do any of that because it was all implied. It was implied in the energy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that's what guys need to aim for.
And that comes from being secure within yourself, okay? And obviously money and things like that absolutely add to that confidence and that energy. But I've met people when I've been out who were high profile, and I mean, at the time I didn't know who they were, but I knew they were high profile. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So I didn't know, oh, this is, I don't know, Donald Trump. I knew he was very important just by the energy that he was giving off.
Yes. And I think
successful men carry that energy around with them. They just have it. It's very natural. Yeah. Because the point in their life where they are very secure. They obviously have the resources that a lot of men wish they had.
Yeah, exactly. So I think there's two strands to it for me. I think on the one hand, guys need to be trying to cultivate that energy. They also need to be doing the self-improvement, right? So, because let's not sugarcoat it. Obviously, if the product is shit or the product is substandard, then that's a problem. But at the same time, if you can cultivate some of that energy and bring that into the interaction, you don't have to be Tate, you don't have to have a Bugatti or whatever, but it's like if you can bring some of that into the interaction, that's going to stand you in good stead, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely, I agree with you. You don't need to be Andrew Tate. You don't need to be driving a Bugatti. It's about the energy. It's about that sort of, that strong kind of provider, protector energy that these men give off to women. Yeah. And they feel safe.
Yeah, and I think that's another thing, actually, because this is another thing where there's this black and white thinking I've noticed in the men's space where it's like, okay, you're either a provider and you're a chump and you're a dad and you're kind of, you're paying all the bills and she doesn't want to have sex with you and all that, or you're this bad boy alpha male and she really wants to rip your clothes off, and you're not giving her any money because you don't have to, because it's all about sexual desire. But the truth of the matter is, really, the ultimate, I would imagine, I mean, I could be wrong, but I would imagine the ultimate for women is the guy who has both. And people like them, and obviously people have got different opinions on them, but they are sort of an example of guys who've kind of melded all of it together. So then the provisioning is not beta in any way. It's not like simping to the woman. It's actually part of the alphaness, because it's like, hey, babe, don't worry about anything. I've got your back, which, to me seems like a very masculine thing, right? It seems like a very masculine thing to be like, hey, babe, whatever happens, I've got you, don't fucking worry about it. She still wants to rip your clothes off, but there's also that added layer of that side of it as well.
Yes, but the problem that we have, and I just want to add on to that, that's a huge problem that we face right now in dating, in relationships, in marriage, that a lot of men, and I don't know if it's whether they don't know how to lead or whether they are not confident enough in leading the women. And that is a big problem, because the women want to be led. Yeah. They are literally creating space for you to lead them. And they want to see where you're leading them, and they want to see if you have that capability. And the problem that we face right now is a lot of men unable to lead, unable to plan a simple date, unable to suggest, let's go here or let's do this. And that is very unattractive to women.
Yeah, absolutely.